What's going on, guys? It's Jamie here from the FM Hub, back posting today on FM Scout TV with another episode of my SPL Billionaire Challenge. It's been a while since we've done one of these, about 2 weeks or so, but you're going to be getting 2 quick-fire episodes. If you want them, I want you guys to let me know in the comments. If you want me to do some more of the SPL, let me know and I can upload a video then on Monday. So it's been about 2 weeks, so we're going to have a look at what's happened. We've gone forward a year. The last episode I asked the question, do you guys want me to give every club now that's in the division an extra £1 billion? And that's exactly what I did, including clubs like Rangers, who had recently been promoted. So now every team at the start of this season was given a fresh £1 billion to spend. And over the past few years, we've seen some interesting things so far. Let's load up the Scottish Premier League and check out what the league table's looking like for this season. St Johnstone being the dominant force so far, and once again this season winning the league very comfortably by 16 points, playing 38, winning 25, drawing 6 and losing 6. Celtic, the team of course that had won it for so many years prior to this, all of them, their season's not going well. I mean, in the past 2 years, back to back, they've not done very well, finishing outside of the top 6, which isn't great in the slightest. Rangers getting relegated there, finishing bottom of the league. What did their transfers look like? Who did they sign? Did they spend huge amounts of money? They did. They spent about £33 million, signed quite a lot of players. The biggest transfer was only £3.2 million, so maybe spending a little bit smarter. But it didn't work out for them. They probably should have spent some more money if they had it to keep them up in that division. But we would expect them now, with this increase in money, to return back to the Scottish Premiership over the next few years. Ross County, another team going relegated through the playoffs. So, like Sven Bender now, he's going to be playing in the Scottish Championship. I understand he's 30 years old, but he's going to be playing in the Scottish Championship unless he gets a transfer away from the club. Top goal scorer this year was Andre Silva for Inverness, 23-year-old Portuguese player signed a few years ago for Inverness from Porto B. Quite an inspired signing. £10.75 million is not a huge amount of money in comparison to the rest of the division signings, and he's provided them with some good goals over the years. Brian Bolo as well has become a dominant force for St Johnstone, guiding them to 3 back-to-back trophies now. We're banging in the goals, doing very well for St Johnstone, who of course, as we know, are in Europe. We'll check out last year's table so we can get an idea of who's in Europe and who's wherever. Partick Thistle, Hamilton Academical, I don't know how to say that. Aberdeen. So Aberdeen finishing in second place. We'll start with them, I suppose. They're going to be given a run out in the European competitions. Regani, key player, we know who he is. But as we move on through this series, we're starting to see lots of regens come through. And lots of players who we weren't really familiar with. Like Frank Miller, a hot Scottish prospect. Stuff like that, you start to lose sort of a bit of relativity, but Regani, of course, we know who he is and how talented he is defensively, the captain now with Alex McLeish at the helm. Schedule, how has their European gone this year? In the Champions League, the best placed playoff, getting knocked out to Leverkusen 5-2 on aggregate, a tough draw, managing to beat Benfica though, in the best placed qualifying third round, which is a very impressive thing to do. Benfica are a good team. Hamilton there, Jordan Ibe is a player there, Javier Aguirre is the manager. Schedule, what are we looking at here? They've been in the Europa League. But it's good to see these Scottish teams making some sort of progression in Europe. These lads got to the playoffs before losing to Atletico Bilbao, but once again managing to pull off a great result in the third qualifying round against Wolfsburg. Managing to knock them out is a big upset. Wolfsburg are a team with quite a bit of money. Maybe not £1 billion, but they're a talented team. Partick Thistle, also another team now managed by Brendan Rodgers. How have they done in the European competitions? Hoping they could have got to the groups, but you can see they got knocked out in the playoffs, losing 5-2 on aggregate there. Disappointing stuff so far. We're hoping St Johnstone would have made it past the qualifying rounds, or done well in the group stages, rather. Let's deselect everything here and start by checking out the Champions League. They got to the group. They had a really tough group, actually, against Fiorentina, Leverkusen and Arsenal. Their best result probably coming against Fiorentina in a great result, actually, a 2-0 victory, but losing to Leverkusen, Arsenal, drawing with Arsenal and drawing with Leverkusen isn't too bad. Did that put them in the Europa League? It may have if they finished third in their group. It didn't. So, disappointing front for European football with Scotland, but unfortunately that's just the way it goes sometimes. But we're definitely starting to see the league develop. Some of the biggest transfers this year, let's check them out with that extra £1 billion. Who's gone where? From the first thing I can see, Hamilton seems to have spent quite a lot of money. The biggest transfer was this guy from Dynamo Kiev, who is a 28-year-old defensive midfielder. I'm not even going to attempt to say his name. Moving for £23 million to Aberdeen as they look to succeed in Scotland. But Hamilton are doing unbelievably well. Let's check out, in terms of transfers anyway, we'll have a look at the league table in a second. They spent a lot of money on some pretty decent players. Todd Kane is a decent little player. Marko Maric. They've signed some top talents. Halilovic, £13.75 million. So we're definitely starting to see an increasing calibre of player in Scotland at the moment. Hamilton, but this season, Hamilton not doing that great. 7th place after investing so much money. And looking at the players that they've got, I imagine some of them are on absolutely crazy contracts. But what we're starting to see now is things change in Scotland, and players really are making the move over to Scotland. The league is improving in stature continuously as we move on. We can see now it's moved up to 12th place. If we view the reputations now, it's an unbelievable rise for the Scottish Premiership, who have come quite far over the last few years. Since its first year, it was rated the 23rd best league in the world. Now it's up to 12th. You can see the impact that money can make on this league, and it'll be interesting to see how far this league actually can go. Can it grow to be as good as, the likes of the Portuguese leagues, and then on to the French, Italian, German, then eventually Spanish and English? It's rated higher than the Sky Bet Championship at the moment. So it's doing very, very well. Has this had a knock-on effect with the Scottish Championship? That's what I want to see. And what sort of transfers are we seeing for this division? Are they realistic? Obviously, Rangers getting relegated this season, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. See if they can... the money is slowly trickling down, and I expect in real life you wouldn't see these sorts of transfers, 575k and whatnot. But Rangers were hoping... when they get relegated with their £1 billion, that they will spend a lot of money and invest there and hopefully improve that league on that aspect. The league has turned into a league of foreign talents and some really talented players in there as it is, but we're starting to see very interesting things happen. Celtic have definitely not invested their money wisely. That for a team that hasn't finished out of the top 3 for over a decade, or the top 2 for over a decade, to finish 4th and then 10th and then 8th is not very good in the slightest. St Johnstone have definitely taken over in this league. What have Celtic done wrong, though? Kevin Trapp is a pretty good signing, actually, in goal from PSG, but not huge intent, even despite the money. For some reason, they're just not spending that sort of money. Now, they did in their first season. They spent 127 million, but as you progress forward, they really aren't selling huge amounts of money. They're selling more players each season than they are buying players, which makes me think that they might have something lined up that's going to happen over the next few years. Please, guys, let me know in the comments if you wish for me to continue this series, and I will do another episode for you guys on Monday if the feedback is good. I'm looking forward to seeing where this league can go, and if you guys are as well, please leave me a comment and drop me a like. Follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/FMHub. Don't forget to subscribe to myself, which my channel link will be in the description, and FM Scout TV. I look forward to posting more videos for you guys soon. I'll see you soon. Goodbye for now.